Fwah! Ain't you the big pig in the room? I'm gonna make you a nice pie for the missus. Coming up today on Geekasaurus, we're gonna go after the big pig in the room, which happens to be World of Warcraft. You say, Geekasaurus, are you gonna go there? Why, yes. Yes, I am. I mean, why not? The biggest game that's out there currently right now that has been the reigning MMO champion is by far World of Warcraft. And this is a new game, and people are going to make these comparisons. And when I've been playing other games like Star Wars The Old Republic and Rift, people started making WoW comparisons in chat. And the people of those games are such complete raving lunatics that they would start swearing at them and calling them names and stop ruining their immersion by mentioning WoW and all this other stuff. Why? It's another game that is very, very successful, and every game that's coming out now from now till whenever is going to always be compared to WoW. Why not? It's successful. It is what the standard is. If you have two different types of cars, you got a Ferrari and you got a Yugo, you're going to compare everything to the Ferrari, are you not? It's the big elephant in the room. It's the one that you're going to compare to. Your Yugo just absolutely sucks compared to the Ferrari. Except maybe for gas mileage. It might be a little bit better for that. Now, I'm coming at this as a very long time WoW player. I'm not your typical Guild Wars 1 player. I did not play that ad infinitum. I only played it maybe a month or two while I was not playing WoW. Okay, that's total time played. I played Guild Wars 1. So I'm not coming at this as some sort of Guild Wars fanboy or anything like that. I'm coming at this from a WoW perspective because that's the only game that I played such long time period. I didn't play EverQuest this long. I did not play Ultima Online this long. Those games came and they left, but I did not play them nearly as long as I played WoW. So I have a very strong WoW background. I've done every major raid in WoW up through Wrath of the Lich King, and I did some in Cataclysm. So let's get this out of the way that I am some huge WoW fanboy either. I want to make this video a very objective look at each game and talk about what each one does well and what they don't do well. And of course, Guild Wars 2 is going to look better. I'm having Guild Wars 2 running in the background here while we're doing this discussion, but effectively, you've all probably played WoW, and this, I wanted to show you the Guild Wars 2 in the background because watching me play WoW is kind of lame and boring. I want to talk about the graphics first. Not just, okay, yes, actually Guild Wars 2 is using a lower version of DirectX 9, but their engine is a better engine. But the style is different. The Guild Wars 2 has a very painterly style. That's the style they keep talking about. And if you look on the screen here, you see the green swipe. It looks like somebody took their finger and dipped it in some paint and kind of swiped it across the screen. That's very artistic and very stylized compared to WoW, which has a more cartoony feel. Each one is going to look cartoony if you're looking for absolute realism. This is not Modern Warfare. Okay, this is not Call of Duty, which has a better look. But in Call of Duty, you don't have this much stuff going on with this many different players and people from around the world having to play this on multiple different systems. When they make Call of Duty, you're going to have it known that it's a PC platform, which is very variable, but you're going to also have Xbox and PlayStation, which are not variable. You know, the engineers know exactly what type of processor, video card, and everything that are in the Xbox or PlayStation. So the styles are markedly different in these two games. And in this comparison, I'll have to give the win to Guild Wars 2. Not just because it's newer and of course it's going to look a little better, but it has a better artistic vision for the game. Okay, let's talk a little bit about some negatives from World of Warcraft. First off, downtime. Today is Tuesday, July 3rd, 2012, and the servers are down for another 8-hour stint. I did a little bit of rough math, and for those out there who are mathematicians, you'll probably find lots of faults with this, but I just want to use this as a generic comparison, not to go for actual hard numbers, alright? So 8 years of WoW being out, 52 weeks in a year, 8 hours a week, roughly, and there are some weeks where they don't go down, but that's a very rare occasion. I come up with 3,328 hours that WoW has been down in the 8 years, which roughly turns into 138 days that players have not been able to play World of Warcraft. Let's not talk about the addictiveness and why people have to play that long. Let's just talk about the fact that there is a certain time every week that people cannot play the game. Okay, so let's compare Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 2 isn't out yet, so we have no direct comparison, but let's just say Guild Wars 1. Same company that runs Guild Wars 1 is running Guild Wars 2, so I think roughly it'll be around the same. Okay, so ready? Guild Wars 1, total downtime, 32 hours. 32 hours versus 3,328 hours. 32 hours? Well, that's terrible. It should have been less than that. Well, 24 of those 32 hours were when they were switching buildings and they had to move all their servers from one building to another. So total real downtime of Guild Wars 1, 8 hours. In 7 years. If Guild Wars 2 is even half as good as that, say 64 hours, that just means that you'll be able to play whenever you frickin' feel like it. Let's move on to our next topic, subscriptions. Let's just say $10 a month for a subscription. Okay, it's roughly more or less than that depending on how much you did. But if you've done it for the past 8 years, you have spent nearly $1,000 on World of Warcraft. That's not taking into account any character transfers at all, which we'll discuss in just a second, or any kind of little goodies you wanted to buy, like say, oh, you know, I really like that special little mount or pet or something like that, which costs 10. So you can probably say most people have spent well over $1,000. And what if they have multiple accounts? A lot of people like to have multiple accounts because they wanted to do this or that, whatever. So we'll say 1,000. Let's just say $1,000 total on World of Warcraft. Oh wait, I forgot all the expansions too. Well, let's just not count those in. Let's just say $1,000. Okay, that's if you left the game for a little while and you didn't play. Comparing it to Guild Wars 1. Total amount spent on Guild Wars 1, roughly $75 on all of the expansions, because there's no monthly subscription fee. Guild Wars 2 will not have a subscription fee either. The cost of the base game is about $65, $70, depending on which one you get. And expansions will cost money, but that's going to cost money in either game. So we'll give the win to Guild Wars 2 at this point, because it's not going to have a subscription either. Okay, let's move on to the thing I just mentioned. Let's move on to character transfers. Okay, let's say in World of Warcraft you have 10 characters on server X, and your buddy says, hey man, we're all going over to server Y, and come on over with us. And you're like, well, I'll have to transfer my characters because I don't want to start over from scratch, which most people really don't want to after you've made it to level 85 and got all your awesome uber epic awesome glowy shoulder things. So to move all of those 10 characters, it will cost you $250 out of your pocket. And what's involved with that character transfer? Well, basically Blizzard goes in and checks a little checkbox on your account saying this server and now you're on this server for each and every character that is doing that. So it takes them roughly 5 minutes of their real life time, and you just paid them $250. Okay, so let's talk about Guild Wars 2. I want to transfer 10 of my characters from server X to server Y. It's going to cost me 500 gems, about 2 gold if you turn in from gems into gold. Not even 2 gold. Let's just say it's about a gold, which is about $1.25. Transferring characters in World of Warcraft takes 45 minutes to an hour at least. Transferring characters in Guild Wars 2 is roughly the time it takes you to hit the log out button and then log back in. All characters transferred at once. This win resoundingly goes to Guild Wars 2. Next, let's talk about grouping. You find a friend in World of Warcraft that you really like, you can add them to your friends list. In Guild Wars 2, you can add them to your friends list. Let's say that you're always grouping up with this person in World of Warcraft. Every time you log back in, you have to try to find them, invite them to the group, and then you guys can go about your business. In Guild Wars 2, they join your group, they're there forever. You never have to take them out of your group, they will stay there indefinitely. So if you have friends you always play with, and you're not playing with anybody else, they stay in your group forever and ever and ever. Grouping win goes to Guild Wars 2. How about player versus player? Let's go into that one. There's a group of people out there that really enjoy killing other players who are trying to level up. It's fun and it makes them feel big and powerful and all of that crap. So, most MMOs have had to have several different types of servers. PvP servers, which allow players to battle each other whenever they want. And usually what it ends up meaning is one player is trying to level up in Arathi Highlands and somebody's going to come up and gank them. And that's just fun, man. Hunting them down. Oh, but it's great because they can do the same thing to me when I'm leveling up. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so then they also have PvE servers, which the PvPers that are hardcore go, oh, that's Care Bear, and you guys are lame and weak and you can't play. Blah. I played on both. I leveled up for 2 years on a PvP server, and I know all about it. So don't try to say that I'm some kind of biased a-hole. And then they've got RP servers, which people are supposed to thee and thou, and you can't call your character Mr. Muffintons, which is just a bad idea all around. So if you're on a PvP server and you're trying to level, you're going to get ganked. It's just common knowledge. You have to watch your back the whole time, and that adds a level of realism and immersion to the game. No, what it really does is make you paranoid, and you have to keep watching your back the entire time because you're always worried that somebody's going to go up and gank your ass. And then when they do, you retaliate by bringing out your level 85 and hunting them down, and then they bring out their friends, and you bring out your friends, and what turned into, you just wanted to have a quiet afternoon of leveling, has turned into a PvP war out in the middle of nowhere. But that's fun, man. If that is your idea of fun, then Guild Wars 2 will have nothing for you, and here's why. Guild Wars 2, the PvP is separate. When you're on the server and you're leveling up, no one can attack you no matter what. Right now there's no dueling in the game, so they can't even duel you. So you can level up at your leisure. Whenever you feel like going out and killing Mr. Deliac, or you want to go over here and you want to hunt some bunny rabbits, you're totally safe from anybody coming out and ripping your face off. When you have a hankering for killing, you jump into one of the battlegrounds and you can do a sort of structured PvP where you're allowed to fight other people inside the battleground, and you can then get a goal and a total and blah blah blah, and you can look awesome on the scoreboard. There is also World vs. World, which you're watching right now on the screen. World vs. World, they pit 3 separate servers against one another so that they can battle it out in this World vs. World battlegrounds. And you have keeps, and you have supply areas, and you have supply trains, and all of this that through a course of 2 weeks allow you to build up over 3 million points, and then if you win, you move up the ladder and fight other harder servers, and if you lose, you fight weaker and weaker servers because you suck. The amount of PvP you can do in Guild Wars 2 is epic. So for all the people that say, oh, it's very Careberry if you're doing PvE, sure. Maybe I just want to play with my wife and do a couple of quests out here and level up and not have to be bothered that some kid who has some kind of ego trip is trying to gank my ass. And then when I'm feeling frisky, I can go into the battlegrounds and rip faces off like everybody else. Because you jump in at level 1 and you can go all the way up to level 85 in the battlegrounds, it means that there's something to do for the entire length of the game if you just want a PvP. You don't have to bother with the Care Bear stuff, man. If you want to be Mr. Awesome Gankerfest guy, you can go in the battlegrounds and just do that. Win goes to Guild Wars 2 for PvP. Okay, let's discuss what to do when you're max level. Unfortunately, Guild Wars 2 has not been out long enough, or it's not out at all yet, to be able to see what's to do at level 85. So I can't make an actual accurate comparison. But let's just say this. In World of Warcraft, you level up as fast as you possibly can to get to 85 so that you can raid and then cry that you didn't get the drop you wanted, and you have to keep raiding over and over again in the same exact raid, hoping to get the drop you need or the faction credits you need to get the item you're looking for. Because Guild Wars 2 is skill-based and not based on gear, you don't have to do that crap. Because I don't have a way to compare level 85 endgame stuff here with Guild Wars 2, I'm not going to give the win to either one. For right now, we will just say World of Warcraft has stuff to do at level 85, whereas Guild Wars 2 might, but I'm not there yet, so we'll just skip that one for now. Let's talk about gear. Okay, most of you that are new to MMOs have just played World of Warcraft, because that's kind of the standard and everyone else is playing it, so you might as well play it too. It's the Facebook of MMOs. Because of that, you're coming into this game with a skill mindset being just something you learn, and gear being everything, right? You want to show off how awesome you are, so you have the glowy purple shoulders with lightning bolts that sparkle, and you got the sword with little particle effects coming off of it. That shows to other players just how awesome you are. And Guild Wars 2 will have some goodies that you can wear, and that will happen eventually over time. And because it's not out yet all the way, I don't know if we are going to have glowy shoulders and glowy swords. I kind of doubt it. To an extent. Guild Wars 1 does have some glowy stuff, so yeah, there'll probably be some stuff like that in Guild Wars 2. But the gear is going to have stats that are just a little bit better than what you get when you start the game off. Why? Because this game is based on skill and not on gear. I know it's going to be hard for you to get your head wrapped around that if you're a hardcore WoW player like I am, but just know this. It takes a hell of a long time to kill anything in this game, and it's not because your gear is sucky. It's because your skills are crap, and you have to get better and better skills. Because this game is not dependent on you leveling up and then grinding away at gear, it frees you up to do other things like crafting or just PvPing or WVW or whatever. There is absolutely no sense for you to have to grind in this game. Why? Because grinding is nothing but a money sink for you. If it takes a long time for you to grind out gear, it means that you will have to pay a subscription fee every month to World of Warcraft or Blizzard, right? That's why they're doing it. They don't make it so it's something fun to do. They make it as hard as they possibly can so that you have to run that raid 8,000 freaking times to get the drop you're looking for. Because while you're doing that 8,000 times, it's going to cost you 5 months worth of subscription fee. And then when you finally get it, you feel like you got it, and you're just going to want something new because by then they've come out with some new tier and oh crap, you got to go get some more stuff. ArenaNet isn't in any of that crap. And here's why. They don't care. There's no monthly subscription fee at all. So they don't need to make you grind for stuff. Are you kidding me? So the win for gear goes to Guild Wars 2 because it isn't important in this game. Yes, you'll be able to wear some kind of shiny shoulders and have a glowy sword and all that crap that if that's what you're into. It'll happen, but it's not required. Let's move on to the next topic. This one we're going to call accessibility. In World of Warcraft, you start out at level 1 in an area and you go and kill some mobs and you might die once or twice. It's a little bit difficult, but if you have been playing, you have some BOA gear, it's laughable. You can walk in, kill everything with one shot, and just get some experience and grind and grind and grind, get up as fast as you can to level 85. Guild Wars 2 actually is a little bit more difficult. To kill a mob in this game with your basic starter skills and gear, it's going to take some time. To kill another player is an epic battle no matter what. I've played a few WVW matches, actually quite a few, and just to take one single person out who's defending a keep, that one person can hold off like 10 people for quite some time, like 5 minutes. In World of Warcraft, if you have a player that's lower than you, or a single player, and you're all geared and he's geared, all 5 of you attack him, he's going down with one shot. Guild Wars 2? Nah, it might take 15 minutes. So, Guild Wars 2 is a little harder to play because it's going to take skill. And not just the skills you learn, actual skill as you as a player. Your abilities to run around and jump and shoot and fire at the same time means this is more of a skill-based MMO and not so much about gear. You can have the best gear in the game and you could probably have all the max skills and you probably will kill people quicker than you do at your basic starter level, but not by much. Not by much. So believe it or not, the win for this one goes to World of Warcraft. It's a little bit more accessible and a little easier to play. Now, is that better? I don't know. I'm just giving it to World of Warcraft because they're just getting stomped in this competition. Last but not least, we're going to talk a little bit about the community of each game. World of Warcraft started out with very friendly people. You would ask a question in general chat, and usually most of the time people would reply with some kind of nice answer or a Chuck Norris joke. Later on it became, you didn't dare ask a question because you were going to be called a frickin' noob or every name under the sun that they could possibly think of. You mad bro will throw out any second, and troll is coming right up behind them. So it all turned into, let's be as immature and jerky as we possibly can to everybody because it shows just how funny and awesome we are. Guild Wars 2 is not going to be any different, I don't believe, because right now it's full of people that are interested in the game, and that means that they're going to be friendlier to each other. As time goes by, the little 15-year-old trollolos will show up and start ruining the chat for sure. So, as it stands, Guild Wars 2 does have a better community right now at this moment. It's friendlier, people are more likely to help, because you're working as a main goal like we're doing right now, taking out this keep, to get your server more wins, people will be friendlier towards each other. There's no reason to have any animosity because you can't kill anybody on your own realm and you can't fight anybody on your own realm, so you might as well just work together. Whereas in World of Warcraft, it can be very animosity-driven game. So we're going to give the win for this one to Guild Wars. So let's summarize all this stuff. Graphics, Guild Wars 2 goes to the win. Because it's newer, yes, I understand that it's going to look better, and I'm not using that as a criteria. I'm using the fact that it has a better stylized look. Let's not talk about the whole, it has more polygons and all of that. Of course it does, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual look of the game. Graphics goes to Guild Wars 2. Downtime, Guild Wars 2. Wow, you lose big on this one, pal. Transfer cost, are you kidding me? $250 to transfer 10 characters from one server to the other. What? Next one, PvP. Definitely goes to Guild Wars 2. A lot more PvP in Guild Wars 2 than in WoW, and it's structured sort of safe, so if people are not into it at all, they don't have to. Subscription. No brainer here. We're going to give that one to Guild Wars 2. Community. For now, we're going to say Guild Wars 2. Finally, the last one, the last criteria is accessibility, and WoW gets the win for that one because I just felt so bad that they were losing everything else. So I hope you see that I was being fair at this. I am not a WoW hater by any means. I just have to be realistic. Trying to help out you people that are on the fence wondering whether or not you should quit WoW. I say yes, quit WoW. Come on over and join us on Guild Wars 2. Sing it along with me. Quit WoW! 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 Well, that about wraps it up for our video today, and I know it was a long one. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. Guild Wars 2 comes out August 28th, 2012. If you pre-order it now, you can start 3 days ahead of that and beat all the noobs and the losers and stuff that are hanging out in the newbie area, and move on and do some other stuff. Get away from those icky people that are down there. And you can start 3 days ahead of time. If you're on the fence, well, get off the fence. It's painful. You know, you sit on a fence for a long time, and you get these, like, it depends on the type of fence, but just most time it's like spiky, and it's, you know, hitting you in the hiney, and I don't know. I think it's painful to sit on a fence. So get off the fence. Either stay with WoW and stick with what you know, or come over to Guild Wars 2 and learn a brand new game and join the revolution, man. It's all about the revolution. Thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe to my videos. Leave comments below. I know you're gonna freaking slam me. I don't care. Throw it at me, man. I can handle it. I'm a necromancer, and I'll just like go hide in my necro death shroud thing, and you won't be able to find me because I'll be green and invisible and black at the same time. So go ahead, throw me some comments. I'll reply to them. And watch me on guildwars2live.com. That's where I stream live all the time. Also, I am a DJ at Gwen Radio, which is Gaming World Entertainment Network, and GW-en.com. Come on over there. I play top 40 music all the time, so you can listen to me over there. You can watch me on Guild Wars 2 Live, and of course you can watch me here on the U and the Tube, or the Blippage. I'm also on the Blip. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I really do love you guys, and until next time,